Frank, we're talking holidays, but are we seeing the death of the British travel agent?
Well, Ben, according to our survey, 84% of your listeners told us that they hadn't visited their local travel agent in the last 12 months, and over 53%, I was quite surprised with this, believe that travel agents have become a thing of the past. And I actually think that this is a sign of the changing times we live in, about the way we work, the way we live. We are certainly moving towards becoming the click and go generation.
Do you think this is a good thing for the travel industry? I mean, are people maybe missing out on some very solid advice because travel agents have served as well as a nation over the years, haven't they?
Well, Ben, you raise a great point there, because I think what we've gleaned out of this survey of ours is that we as consumers don't have the necessary or the skill set of the travel agents. Yes, if we're going back to the same country and resort each year, we understand that country and resort. But, one of the things that we've detected from our helpline is that so many consumers out there are clicking that button to say buy before they've actually done the research, before they actually understand the problems at a hotel or on a cruise ship or a resort. And more importantly, they don't understand the difference between a regulated and unregulated travel product, which a good travel agent would certainly point out to you.
I suppose it's really difficult, isn't it, for the consumer and for travel agents at the moment, because I can only imagine how many times a day a travel agent has somebody come in, they do all the groundwork, find them a great deal, and then that person says, well, listen, I'm just going to go and check, I can't get it cheaper online, and goes out. That must be very frustrating, but at the same time, you can't blame the consumer for trying to get the best deal.
No, I'm afraid it's a fact of life. It's not necessarily travel. It's right the way across the board in all industries and businesses. 28% of your listeners told us that they don't use travel agents because they are looking for that better deal and they believe they can get that online. But we say you have to take care. You have to read those terms and conditions. You have to understand whether you're buying a regulated product or not and protected by the package travel regulations. And it does come back. It's circular argument comes back to the travel agents having that personal interaction, I should say, with that agent, who will give you all the information, warts and all, or they should do, warts and all about that particular travel product.
Obviously, there is going to be more costs, isn't there? Because a travel agency, they're going to have rent, they're going to have building costs, they've got staffing on the ground. Do you think people almost have to accept that they might pay a slight premium to receive that advice and know that what they're going to get is exactly what they expected?
If for example, the way we do business was to continue as it has for years, I would agree with that. But we're actually changing to what we call a relationship-based economy. So you and I, we talk to our family and friends via Skype and Google+. Businesses are already talking to their customers via Twitter, Facebook, and so on. It's not too far in the near future where little pop-up screens will appear on our televisions and the brochure will appear by the travel agent in the pop-up screen. We will be transacting with these businesses from the comfort of our settees. The scale at which communications is changing is now upon us, and businesses are going to have to adapt to that, and obviously that means a different mindset, a different type of investment in order to keep up with the big boys. There's no reason why the smaller agents can't compete in the same level.
But I suppose sad for the high street then, because they are going to be closing their shops, you think?
There is, I think, overall going to be that risk. There's been a lot of debate in recent years about companies closing whole swathe of shops and then reopening them again. It's almost they're going through a bit of a cathartic moment. But, I think that there will be survivors on the high streets. There's plenty of room, I think, for a mix and match solution using new technologies, but also having the footfall through the front door.
Okay, so I want to go on holiday. I've got a budget, but I've no idea what I want or what I want to achieve. What would your advice to me be?
Okay, well, if you're one of those people who wants to sort of talk directly to a person, it's quite simple. Go to your travel agents, and that's, a good travel agent will hopefully find you the best deals. If you're one of those people who's fairly savvy with the internet, comfortable with it, do shop around through the different internet sites, but it's not just shopping for the best price. It's looking at the descriptions of the hotels. It's looking at the photographs of the hotels. You should also use Google Maps. Go for a walk around the district where you're looking to go on holiday. I'm surprised by how many consumers don't use that free tool that's online. Go onto travel review sites and just see what other holidaymakers have to say about their experiences at the hotel, good or bad. And when you've got that information, if you're still not sure, talk to the tour operator through their numbers online, and then make your decision whether or not you're going to click that button that says buy.
I do read some of the review sites, but I do find normally only people who are very unhappy seem to write reviews. Would that be fair or not?
I think it is actually a little bit unfair. I'm sorry to disagree with you there, Ben, but because if you actually look at the travel reviews, say on TripAdvisor, you'll find the majority are actually positive reviews. But unfortunately, people like the gory details, so to speak, and particularly, newspapers tend to highlight these particular negative reviews. But do you know what? There's a hell of a lot of positive reviews out there. There is a movement out there to try and garner businesses together to create a group action against TripAdvisor because of what they call suspect reviews and so on and so forth. But do you know what? Consumers are a savvy bunch of people. They can cut through the weeds, so to speak, and they can see what's genuine and what isn't. And if you cut across a number of review sites and, I say, do the research that I've talked about, particularly use Google Maps and go for that walk with that little yellow fellow as you walk down the street, you'll be able to see for yourself what it looks like and work out for yourself what the conditions are.